Asia-Pacific markets are largely falling on Tuesday as investors assess central bank monetary policy decisions from the Bank of Japan. Now, the BOJ officially ended its negative interest rate policy at its March meeting, hiking interest rates for the first time in 17 years. The bank raised its benchmark interest rate from negative 0.1% to a range of between 0% to 0.1%. But it also abolished its yield curve control policy, marking a historic shift in policy. The Japanese Nikkei 225 has been very volatile following that news, reversing declines before plunging again, and it was trading nearly 0.2% higher at midday trading. The broader Topix index was up 0.19%. For more on this now, let's go to Han Tan. He's the Chief Market Analyst at the Xinity Group, and he joins us now live from Dubai. Thank you for being with us. Han, so this is a historic shift for Japan. What does it mean for the country's economy?
Yeah, so it means that, at least from the central bank's perspective, that inflation is finally starting to take hold in an economy which has battled with bouts of deflation that's falling consumer prices really over the past couple of decades, really. So, it signals that perhaps the economy is on a strong enough footing that it can perhaps do away with a somewhat less accommodative policy stance or less help from the central bank, and can go about growing on its own feet, so to say.
And Han, can you help us understand why is the rest of the world essentially fighting with inflation, and why has Japan been fighting with something very different, deflation? What does it mean and why?
Yeah, so, and you're right to point out this stark contrast, right? So you've seen the aggressive rate hikes by the likes of the Fed, the BOE, the ECB, whereas Japan, as you pointed out, has been the last central bank stuck in negative interest rates. And it really points to just the nature of the post-pandemic recovery and also some of these legacy issues. Again, Japan itself is battling with a problem that has plagued its economy for decades now, right? So I think all of these structural factors really weighed into how each economy has fared in this post-pandemic era. But I guess, long story short, at least Japan is finally somewhat catching up with the rest of the world.
Right, and in terms of the real economy, we've seen Japan plunging into recession. Do you expect it to be a shallow recession or not?
Yeah, I think the short and simple answer is yes, because to be clear, even the outlook for this year, I would still put about a 20-30% chance of there still being a recession in Japan. And in terms of the outlook for growth, it's not that Japan will suddenly just go gangbusters like some of the Western economies have experienced post-pandemic. If anything, GDP growth will still be less than 1% for this year. And that's provided some of the wage hikes that was secured just recently, that begins to feed into the economy. Consumers are more willing, more confident to spend. Likewise, businesses are willing to not just raise those wages, but also invest in their people and in their businesses and ultimately grow the economy. So that is the kind of virtuous wage cycle that the central bank has been harping on for quite a while now.
Absolutely, and we'll keep a close eye on Japan, still one of the world's largest economies. Han Tan, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
And now let's take a quick look at some of the top stories from around the world. Tech company NVIDIA has unveiled its latest graphics processing unit for artificial intelligence, the Blackwell GPU. NVIDIA says the new GPU will be used to power AI developed by OpenAI, Microsoft, Google, and other companies in the AI race. NVIDIA announced the new AI chip at its technology conference, saying it provides even better AI training performance than its popular predecessor, Hopper. Alphabet shares have closed up more than 4% and Apple just under 1% following a report that the two are in talks to license AI tool Gemini for future iPhones. Bloomberg said that the two tech giants are in negotiations for Gemini to power certain features in the new iPhone this year. Apple's CEO Tim Cook said the company is investing significantly in AI. The European Patent Office saw a record number of filings last year, mainly from the US, Germany, Japan and China. It received more than 199,000 patent applications in 2023, marking a 2.9% increase from the previous year. Huawei was the top filer for the third year, followed by Samsung, LG, Qualcomm, Ericsson and Siemens. And Internal Revenue Service Commissioner Danny Werfel is planning to increase the company's staff to over 100,000 in the next 3 years as part of a goal to modernise. He emphasised the near-term hiring will enhance taxpayer services and help manage complex audits. This move aims to significantly improve the agency's efficiency and responsiveness.